So this device, which costs around $15 or around £11.50 currently, will give you 400 retro games. Now, if you're the type of person that moans about the latest games, just take a look at what it was like back in the 80s. So my friends, welcome some of you to a trip down memory lane. Now, this device, which is not really the most important thing, costs between £10 and £15 in the UK. I'll leave the link in the description for your locality and you can see how inexpensive it is. Now, the device itself is almost irrelevant. It's a cheap Chinese copy of the original Game Boy, but it's what comes preloaded on the device, the games that are on there, which is the most interesting thing. Now, in the box itself, it's got a VGA cable, so you can hook it up to a TV. It's also got the USB charging, so you can have it wireless. It's got an lithium battery inside, and it's got a little carry strap which you can attach, as well as a pouch to keep the device in. But it's when you turn this device on that the fun really begins. Now, you do get selected with the option of Chinese or English for the language, but when you do press English, you'll then get presented with a list of 400 retro games that for some of you will take you right back to your childhood. Now, I think that anyone that's got a child of today's generation, where they maybe have a PS4 or an Xbox One, should get one of these. And instead, the next time you're grounding them and saying, right, Johnny, you're not going on the PS4 or the Xbox One. Instead, you can play this for an hour, and that will give them an indication of what gaming, original gaming, was like. Now, I know obviously gaming started with Atari in the 70s, but it really became mainstream in the 80s. And Super Mario, the arcade game, was launched in 1983. And Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo came out on the 13th of September 1985. And at the time, it was groundbreaking. It was really, really addictive, and you'll be surprised, but it is still addictive now. Now, there's the classics like Super Mario, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, F1 Racer and Golf, which I'll all show you clips of in this little video. But there's lots of others as well, which I'm sure some of you will have your own personal favourites that you can remember. Now, this is quite tricky to get used to again, but once you do, you'll be able to get a really good idea of that gaming feeling. You know, the first time that you could really have hands-on effect over a character on a screen, and that is quite nostalgic and really quite pleasant to play. Now, on all of the gadgets that I review, I always give you some tech specs. Now, really in this case, it's completely irrelevant. However, you can, as I mentioned, connect this to a TV or projector, and it does have the support for a cable for an external controller. Now, it does support headphones as well, and the screen, I know that you're probably thinking that this is some super duper OLED, LED, whatever screen, but it's actually a TFT screen. It does have a 600 milliamp hour battery, and that will give you a 6 to 7 hour standby time. So, as I mentioned previously, the technical specs and the device itself really are irrelevant. This is all about nostalgia of seeing and remembering, if you're from that generation, what those games were like in the 80s. And if you're not from that generation, then this is a real education of what gaming really, when it went mainstream, how that started. So my friends, the latest prices on these are £11.97 in the UK, it's $14.99 in the US. Check out the link in the description yourself, and I will see you on the next video.